Christiane Amanpour is America's most famous foreign correspondent, hopscotching the world's hotspots.
In Saudi Arabia, Kinshasa, Zaire, high over the Libyan capital Tripoli.
And breaking news wherever she goes. Just this year, she scored interviews with Hosni Mubarak as he lost his grip on Egypt, and Muammar Gaddafi.
It's good to meet you.
As the revolution took hold in Libya.
The President of the United States, the leaders of Britain and other leaders are calling on you to step down, to leave Libya, to leave your position of power. Will you do that?
ABC This Week.
When she took over This Week on ABC last year, she brought her reporter zeal, tackling domestic issues.
You had control of both houses of Congress. How did this happen?
Well, that's one version of the story, and
But from
as you pose it,
many people are asking that. How have you got to the place where perhaps you might lose your majority?
And bringing invaluable insight to international headlines. She grilled Prime Minister Tony Blair about invading Iraq.
Wouldn't it have been better to not have diverted the billions of dollars, the amount of resources, the amount of attention to Iraq? You could have waited.
Supposing we'd left Saddam.
But you could have contained him.
She says she's never been an armchair journalist, and Amanpour continues to chase the big story. She took her show to Tucson when Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords was shot, and scored an exclusive interview with the intern who helped save Giffords' life.
She was severely injured, and I wanted to make sure that she was able to breathe okay because there was so much blood.
Born in England, Amanpour came to the United States to study journalism. After a brief stint in local news, she went to work at CNN in 1983. She quickly found her way in front of the camera. Her first major assignment was the Iran-Iraq War. She was there when the Berlin Wall came down, then covered the collapse of the Soviet Union. Her next big assignment was the Gulf War.
The commander says the Red Sea battle force is close to neutralizing all its targets.
She covered Iraq's invasion of Kuwait and the U.S. bombing of Baghdad. She went on to cover the Kurdish refugee crisis. Amanpour exposed humanitarian crises.
They're picking up every single grain. It's that desperately needed.
Including the famine in Somalia and ethnic cleansing during the civil war in Bosnia.
The fact that the international community has failed to take any decisive action to stop this war is almost as dangerous as the war itself.
And helped spur the world to take action. In 2005 alone, Amanpour covered the tsunami in Sri Lanka.
More than 80% of it has been destroyed.
The London terror attacks, Hurricane Katrina.
The fact is, neither the National Guard troops we've spoken to nor the water rescue people know quite how they're going to force residents to leave their house.
The death of Pope John Paul II and Saddam Hussein's trial. Through the years, she has interviewed newsmakers, including Yasser Arafat, Jacques Chirac, and Mahmoud Abbas. Shortly after she took over This Week, she sat down with Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad.
So are you saying you're holding the two Americans as hostages for the release of Iranians here?
No.
And she was back in the middle of the action this spring.
You want us to go?
Yes, I want you to go from here.
Why?
Because we are hate you. We hate American.
You hate us.
Yes, I hate you, and I hate you.
Covering the revolutions in the Middle East. As host of This Week, Christiane Amanpour is refusing to stay inside the Beltway. And she's bringing her audience a global perspective on the big stories of the day.
They hit the car with their fists over and over again and threw a rock through the front window. The glass is shattered all over our driver. Are you okay? Did they hurt you?
No.
Waggy?
No.
Did they hit you?
No.